Okay, so I'll run through a few basic components of what makes up a nature aquarium or a planted aquarium. Some of the critical things that are different from a standard fish tank are, the focus is really on growing the plants and getting a healthy garden or ecosystem, if you will, of aquatic plants. So we really gear our gear around what's necessary to keep the plants healthy and growing well. So lighting is a very critical component. Plants need adequate lighting, intense lighting. A lot of these plants come from tropical or subtropical regions of the world where they have evolved under very intense lighting conditions. So really bright light's essential. Nowadays you can get lighting in a whole wide array of LEDs. Fluorescent lighting is kind of a thing of the past. LEDs kind of the wave of the future, but that's what's out there these days. Full spectrum lighting, so lighting that is in the usually like 6,000 to 8,000 Kelvin rating is typically what we use for a planted aquarium. And the intensity will vary on what your goals are. Some plants can handle lower lighting conditions, some need brighter lighting conditions. This is more an example of what we call a heliophilic or a very brightly lit aquarium. Whenever you see plants that have sort of reddish color like these guys here or in here, that indicates that they like really bright light. So lighting is critical. So that's probably, if you were going to invest, when you start out building a nature aquarium, if you're going to invest in anything first, lighting is probably the one thing I would really not cut any corners on. The second thing is, in typical fish tanks, you'll have gravel, sand, things like that. In a planted aquarium, we want a nutrient bed of substrate for the plants to grow in. So we're actually using a soil down here that's been formulated for planted aquarium use. And so that's really critical because it holds fertility and creates the right sort of conditions for the root structure of the plants to develop in, and it just makes growing the aquarium plants a lot easier. So that's a critical thing. Probably the next thing is adequate filtration. In this aquarium we have a canister filter here with high turnover rate, keeps the water sort of clean. Another critical thing would be carbon dioxide. Carbon dioxide is a critical element in photosynthesis, how plants grow, and the chemical reaction that allows them to build sugars in their own tissues. So once you add carbon dioxide into the planted aquarium equation, then it just skyrockets your chance of success. So that's really a critical element as well. The next thing would be providing your plants with all the nutrients that they need. Just like we feed our fish in our fish tank, it's good to feed the plants as well. So give them the macro and micronutrients that are really critical for them. I just use a real straightforward fertilizer system. This has been well developed by this company that I represent, Aqua Design Amano, and it's so simple to administer, just a few pumps once a day, and that gives the plants all the food they need for the day. So the basics of it are really simple, but once you remove any one of these elements, your chance of success diminishes. So it's kind of like the combination of all these things that I mentioned create this beautiful environment. And then, there's aspects of design that's pretty much a product of the aquarists' own creativity and their own, interest in what they want to see in their aquarium. And also the maintenance of it, making sure that your aquarium gets about 30% water change once a week. I like to drain off about 30% of the water, replenish that with fresh water, and I service the filter about once a month. So that's some of the two basic maintenance requirements of keeping the tank healthy. And of course, trimming and cleaning the glass and things like that can be done as needed, as wanted. I'm more of a hands-off designer. I kind of let my plants grow in, and then I cut them back infrequently. As you can see, it's kind of a jungle up here. And for me, that's fun. That's just my style, but everyone has their own. Some people like more of a manicured look. So you can really do whatever your sort of creativity calls to you with a nature aquarium.